You ready?
I don't know what I'm supposed to be ready about.
He's stuck in a loop.
Caregiving with dementia isn't about memory loss, it's about getting stuck in loops. Let's talk about it. So today was one of those days. It just is like that sometimes. So I had made lunch and I was trying to get my partner up for lunch. So I was like, "Are you ready to eat some lunch?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, I'm ready." So I just go up to him like I normally do. I grabbed the walker and I said, "Okay, let's get up." But nothing happened. He just kind of sat there. I was like, "You want to eat lunch, right?" He's like, "Yeah, I want to eat lunch." I was like, "Okay, cool. Let's just let's go ahead and just get up and let's go grab some lunch." Nothing happened. Then the next thing I know, he starts grimacing. He starts making a face that I have to go to the bathroom face. So I'm like, okay, well, let's go to the bathroom. I'm figuring like maybe it's the bathroom that's holding him up. Maybe the fact that he needs to go to the bathroom interfered with the whole thought about going to lunch, because that can happen too. Like with dementia, it just sidetracks you. So I was like, okay, let's go to the bathroom. And then he's like, sure, let's go. But then next thing you know, he's like, no, I don't have to go to the bathroom. But I know he has to go to the bathroom because I know that look. I know the grimace. I know him. So then I'm like, basically like, are you ready? And he's just like, why are you doing this to me? And I'm like, and that's when I realized that, you know what? He's stuck in a loop. He can't initiate, he can't move forward. And we're just kind of like at a standstill. So I back off and I give him space because I don't want him to feel like I'm pressuring him. And that's not going to get us to move forward. I need to break the loop somehow. So on the outside, it looks like, he's being stubborn. This looks like he's being defiant. But that's not really what's happening on the inside, which I've come to learn. It's just that, he can't move that gear to go move to the next step. So although he wants to eat lunch or go to the bathroom or whatever it is, he can't, make that extra effort to kick it in gear and do what we need to do. So then I'm like, basically like, are you ready? And he's just like, why are you doing this to me? And I'm like, and that's when I realized that, you know what? He's stuck in a loop. He can't initiate, he can't move forward. And we're just kind of like at a standstill. So I back off and I give him space because I don't want him to feel like I'm pressuring him. And that's not going to get us to move forward. I need to break the loop somehow. So on the outside, it looks like, he's being stubborn. This looks like he's being defiant. But that's not really what's happening on the inside, which I've come to learn. It's just that, he can't move that gear to go move to the next step. So although he wants to eat lunch or go to the bathroom or whatever it is, he can't, make that extra effort to kick it in gear and do what we need to do. Then I was like, I gotta, be clever. I gotta do something different. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just, try to reset the scene. So what I did was I walked out of the front door. I had to go do some things anyway, get the trash and stuff ready. But then I came in another door, and then I didn't say anything like, you want to go eat lunch. I just came in and said, hey, let's get up. I just was setting up a whole new scene. So I wanted him to realize this is something new, we're different, we're trying. It's not even about eating lunch right now. It's just about getting up. Of course, yes, I want him to eat lunch, but I figured that this would at least, get him moving. And you know what? It worked. I came in and I was like, hey, you know what? Let's get up. Let's go. He's like, okay. So he got up. We started moving to get up. And then he's like, where are we going? I was like, we're going to go eat. He's like, oh, great, man. I've been wanting to eat. And I'm sitting here looking at him like, really, bro? You've been wanting to eat? Here I am trying to do all this work and you putting it on me. So it's my fault. It's my fault that you're not eating. This is what I'm really feeling inside, because it's like, you know what, I'm like struggling over here. This has like been 30, 45 minutes. I don't know how long it's been. I did a lot of stuff in that time. And I'm like thinking like, okay, whatever, it's me. So yeah, let's go eat. Let's go do our thing. So we got him up, we got him moving. Finally, got something to eat. And that's how I broke that loop. And I literally had to do the same thing when we were leaving the table. I had to break the loop again, because it was like all of a sudden he was stuck in another loop. I was like, now it was time to go to the bathroom, and he couldn't initiate, he couldn't go. So what did I do? I went out a different door and came in the door that was next to him. I was like, yeah, you ready to go? He's like, yeah, let's go. And all of a sudden he was ready to go. He wasn't frozen anymore. He wasn't stuck. It was like I was able to trick his brain into, re-engaging into the activity that I wanted him to do. And that's essentially, how we broke the loop. It was a loop. And when you are dealing with somebody with dementia, you'll come to see these loops. They come quite often, and you'll have to, figure out ways, to get them to move in the situation. Logic didn't work, encouragement didn't work, motivation didn't work. You can't encourage somebody out of the loop. You have to, break the loop, so to speak. And on the outside, yeah, it looks like stubbornness, it looks like defiance. But as you grow in your dementia journey, you'll realize this isn't defiance. This is just, how the brain works right now. And you have to get them to the next stage, so to speak. And that's what works. You gotta get creative in your dementia journey. That's what I'm learning. You gotta be creative. You gotta think outside the box. You can't force it. You can't make something happen that's not clicking automatically. So that's what today looked like. Just an example of one kind of loop. Just all different kinds of loops. That's what worked today, and tomorrow might have to try something different. Just another day in caregiving. You know how it is.